All right, here we go. I don't know if anybody is going to see this right about now, because it is a random Wednesday afternoon. Let's see who all gets the notifications, because this is something else I want to kind of work on, is figuring out this notification stuff, because it doesn't seem to be working. Oh, we got one person in here. Who's in here? Oops, as I hit the button. Alright. What's going on? Yeah, let's do that. What's going on, y'all? I'm working on right now, trying to figure out some moderation. So, participant. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, I'll just leave it as it is, I guess. What's up, Mark? What's up, Elizabeth? You misspelled my name. It's Brain. Brian. It's okay. It's something I lived with my entire life, and in a second I'll tell you a bit of a funny story. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and tell it now. So, I have kind of a unique situation with my name. My first name is Brian, and then my last name is, I don't want to put it out here, but it's a very common name as well. And it was completely misspelled on my personal checks for years because it said Brain, and then they misspelled my last name. So it's something freaking horrible. Alright, guys, we got a bunch of people already in here. This is awesome. Sweet. Let's see here. Moderate. What was that? Okay. We definitely have some. It's okay, Elizabeth. I promise it's okay. My dad was dyslexic, so it was a total nightmare growing up. Even one day, he went to get me a birthday cake, and he misspelled my name. It said "Happy Birthday, Brain" on it, which was funny. So, yeah. But yeah, so I tried to do a live yesterday, and it didn't work out too well. For those of you all that saw the members video, I've been out hiking, and I'm obsessed with this Oak Ridge situation with the portals, so I'm working on that as well. But I'm in my camper right now. It's finally like livable. Which I'm super excited. Not like livable, but like travelable. If that makes any freaking sense. So I've gotten the majority of the mold out of it. It's clean. The air conditioning is working. My appliances are working, which is awesome. I get to keep some beers in the refrigerator. And I am going on an adventure, on an expedition on Friday. Is kind of the maiden voyage in it. So I'm really excited about it. Super excited. It's going to be awesome. I don't know. I'm just glad that I'm not going to be sleeping on rocks on the ground. You know, a lot of y'all have been a part of my channel. You've seen me with my physical injury struggles, and one of the biggest things that really bothered me was that camping and sleeping in the wilderness became almost unbearable for me. My oddly enough, my doctor just messaged me right before I got on here and said I had multiple fractures in my spine and that they have to reschedule. I mean, I kind of knew this already, but it's another one of those situations. So, but it's going to be awesome, you know? I mean, plus having a camper that I can tow with the truck is going to be cool. And it's pretty big, too. Let me turn it around. So, we got a bed there. We got a couch. Sorry about the vacuum. I'm working on like sterilization of everything. Here we have the camper table thing. There's nothing nefarious going on, by the way. It's just a random Ziploc or random baggie. I was going through some equipment, trying to get my equipment ready. Then over here, we have another bed, which is pretty dope. Down here, I got a microwave. I got a functioning oven now. I've got a sink with water, a refrigerator that'll run off either propane or electricity, which is confusing to me, and an old Smashing Pumpkins CD. So, I'm excited. Is it brand new? No. But my whole life, I've always been the guy who had kind of... Sorry. What's going on here? Uh-oh. We got Billy Corgan coming in the background. Hot. So, hold on. I don't know how old that CD is. You know, growing up in East Tennessee, coming from like... I would say we were middle class at one point. I think there was a year or two there that we were doing pretty good. I always wanted like jet skis and stuff like that, so I'd always have to buy used stuff, fix it up, and make it my own, which to me makes you appreciate that object a little bit more, rather than going out and buying something new. Yes, this thing has got some issues, but I can fix those. And it's going to be awesome, which I'm really excited about it. So we'll probably have to come up with a name for the camper. So yeah, Shelly, you got a notification finally. All right, everybody seems to be getting notifications. Lori did not. So Jeff, what's up, man? I just answered your question and didn't even acknowledge you. My bad. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Hold on, Billy. I'm gonna slow your roll. Sorry. Don't need copyright stuff on here. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm planning on heading out on Friday. I will be gone until Sunday, I believe, which I'm really stoked about. It's going to be the first big trip. I'm going to try to do a live stream because I want to get back into doing some nighttime investigations as well. So we are going to be kind of covering both with this. So for some reason the chat just slowed down. I don't know what just happened here. Oh, top messages. That's why. There we go. Christian's not getting them. Holly is getting them. Hi, Lori Wiley. How are you? Ghetto Yeti. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of people that wouldn't do this. But for me, my personality, I love stuff like this. Like, I think it's just really cool. It's something that I've always wanted because I've always been into hiking and camping and, you know, just being away from the public in general. So it's pretty awesome. Mark, dude, thank you so much. That is a huge help on the upcoming expedition that I'm going on. So I'm working on trying to get all my gear ready right now. I've got to go. I'm probably gonna go tomorrow to pick up all my supplies and stuff. So it's gonna be kind of a busy situation. The Cryptic Camper, that would be a cool name. I like that. But yeah, it's got like heat in it and stuff like that. So like I'm gonna be able to take it in the mountains and like hit everything. So Mia, you're not even getting member stuff. Did you see the members video I posted yesterday? Can I do a shout out unscathed? I don't know, can I? Who am I shouting out? You? What's up, man? Unscathed, yes. What's up, man? Let's see here. For the past several months, I haven't. So I'm really kind of working on figuring out what's going on with the notifications. It seems like kind of what I've been doing is working in the right direction. Maybe not for everybody. It was totally random. So if you didn't get it, it wasn't like I somehow left you out or something like that. It's just, yeah. I'm good resting with my cats. Got hit by a truck. Holy shit. While driving on my mobility scooter, it was total lady charged, failure to yield. Jeez, dude. You got hit by a truck? That's crazy. HT, do I believe there are feral people in North Georgia in the North Georgia mountains? So, it's kind of interesting. We got hit with a feral question right away because in UFO, dude, I'm so sorry that happened to you, man. That's horrible. Like, you were already in a totally terrible position. So, Mahala, keep your cats inside. I hear feral people are eating them. Holly Mindset TV. So what this channel is about is, I don't know what it's about yet. I'm just kidding. I love the paranormal. I don't do just ghost hunting. I don't do just cryptid hunting. I go looking for missing persons. I go looking for feral people, Bigfoot, Dogman, ghosts, demons. I kind of do everything. It's not just one specific area that I concentrate on. So I try to really keep my channel diverse. I've got ADHD like crazy, so I tend to bounce around a lot, so you never really know what you're going to get with me. But other than an adventure, we 100%, we will go to a real location where I will do my best to give you all the GPS coordinates. They're usually listed in the thermal footage. So if you're interested in what I'm doing or what I experience, you can go out there yourself and see what's there. But yeah, I just love being in the woods. I was born and raised in East Tennessee, so it's just yeah, what I do. But yeah, everything ACDC. What's up, man? Glad you came in today. Everything paranormal sounds interesting to me. Yeah, because I don't think that. So here's my thinking. Okay. Overall, we don't know exactly what is happening. So to be tied down to one specific theory, I think really restricts us and prevents us from really kind of getting to the real details of the situation. So, like, if a family is dealing with like a haunting in their home, rather than being tied down to looking for a relative, I try to explore not only the home but the land surrounding it, seeing if there are any interesting changes in like the geomagnetic sphere. I try to be rational about how I approach things. So if a family says, there's a demon in my house, I'm scared I'm going to lose everything and go insane, I will come in and kind of with a different approach and look and find out, well, maybe somebody on this property before you moved in died and they don't know that they've passed on yet, and they're kind of stuck in a limbo and they just need some guidance on what to do, because I believe that our concept of time is extremely flawed. So I don't think that in the afterlife or with these cryptids, they experience the time the same way that we do. So yeah, y'all, I'm loving seeing all these hearts go up. Is that new? I don't know what's going on, or am I just kind of getting things going? Okay, well, BLM, not sure what your problem is, but we'll see you later. But yeah, it's I kind of go for a little bit more of a a curiosity approach to it, and I really kind of work towards breaking things down. Okay, so I don't know why here recently I've been getting all of these like crazy just nonsense in my live streams. So okay, so if you're here, just say something normal if you want my attention. Okay, if you are like inappropriate, if you're harassing people, if you're asking me to talk about Palestine, if you're doing all of that stuff, like, I'm just going to either remove you from the live or hide you from my channel permanently, because that's silly. Like, I do my best to try to talk to everybody. I want to, I am so grateful, like, and I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart. I am so grateful for everybody who has supported me, and I want to do my best to show you that appreciation. But it can be difficult when all of my comments get spammed with just nonsense, or, people just mad trying to get attention for themselves or start a fight with me. Like, it's stupid. Like, just say something normal. If you aren't into the paranormal, just go on. Go do something else. So, yeah. So 1300 Savage, huh? You want me to try Galaxy Gas on stream? I am 42 years old. You got a roach? I got a roach on it? Where? I don't think I've got a roach. I call them palmetto bugs. So, yeah. So Mia, so many drownings all summer, never seen so many. I'm interested that you pointed that out. There was just another drowning at Lake Lanier, which would be really interesting. I would love to go there and investigate. Tommy, what's up, man? You got to give me a second to respond. If I'm in the middle of ranting, just repeat your question. So when you write it out, hit copy, and then if you see that I missed it, say it again, and I'll do my best to re-engage you. So, yeah, Jeff, exactly. Lemonade or kick or report. Yeah, I agree. Selena Girl 69. Am I employed? So I am retired from the military. I ran my own business for a while on the side while doing YouTube. Recently got some bad news. Not going to be able to work with my hands as much. So I'm having to make kind of like a transition right now, but I still make content. I do my best to entertain you all, give you all entertainment. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at this current moment. Jeff, thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. You're freaking awesome. Okay. You try to go back. Yeah, Lake Lanier, HT. That's what I just talked. Pork and beans. Keep your heads up, dude. You've been behind my back. You've had my back since like the beginning. Like I remember talking to you back in the day. Angelic's broadcast. You look like Kevin James. Cool. Holly, would you ever come to Ohio and investigate? I have looked into that, and I seriously want to. And it's one of those topics that I'm really interested in, and my channel's kind of in a weird spot. Like, yes, my channel is currently making money, but like travel is so expensive right now, so it can be very difficult to arrange these long trips because I do have a family. You know, I've got children that I have to support. So Esthesio, any paranormal stories from your time in the military? So I would say, as far as the paranormal goes, I lived on Fort Knox military base, and obviously Fort Knox is a extremely historical location where there is all kinds of stuff happening. We used to see UFOs like all of the time in Fort Knox. I spoke to an individual that actually worked the security, and I talked about this in my last live. That worked security at Fort Knox, and he claimed that there was a craft being stored at Fort Knox. So yeah, it was pretty freaking awesome. Fort Campbell, however, which is a base that I did some kind of recent investigations at. I'm still in the process of getting all of that stuff put together and finishing up that video. There is reports of a Dogman being spotted in Fort Campbell as well. All right. Let's see here. Patriot 1-2, welcome to my membership. That's freaking awesome. Hopefully the next president. Sorry, y'all, I kind of had to skip because I wanted to get somewhat caught back up. I'm doing my absolute best to try to figure out exactly this transition with being a sole full-time content creator. Part of that is learning how to interact with you all better. So there's kind of a learning curve there for me. I'm trying to learn how to do it, and I'm trying to take the channel more seriously, trying to take the involvement more seriously. Somebody had said that they had tried to send me a message over Instagram. Instagram isn't the best way to contact me. I don't know why, but I get plagued with just nonsense on Instagram. I get crazy messages all the time, so I can't really like go through them all. If you can, email me directly, and I promise I will get back to you. So yeah, Shelly, hit that like button. Thank you so much. Eyes got show. Yo, shout out my brother, please. His name is, sorry, God, this thing, it like It's as I was reading it, it just switched. I'm sorry, man. What was your brother's name? Lawrenceville. My email is hold on. My email is blackmassparanormal00. No, I'm not going to fall for that. I'm not going to say that name. It's freaking ridiculous. Let me see. I don't have a pen and paper, or I would write it out. But it's Black Mass, MASS, Paranormal 00 at gmail.com. Let's see here. Jason, what's up, man? From South Carolina, or from Alabama, South Alabama. Lawrenceville has a century or more old courthouse and jail that's haunted. That's cool. I'd definitely like to check that out. Yeah, and if there's locations, y'all, that you would like for me to go to, definitely like email me, and then if it comes down to me being able to put it together and to go do it, then I 100% will, if I can. Currently, like right now, in a sense, I guess it's kind of been good. I'm able to make this transition, and I will be able to travel further. Hold on. But like right now, I kind of stick to the southeast for the most part. But yeah, I love the Appalachian Mountains. That's where I do the majority of my investigations. The Appalachian Mountains are crazy, so, and they're right here, you know, so it's great. ACDC, you saw paranormal things in the White House working for federal law enforcement. Dude, you got to email them. Email me. Like, let's get these stories out there somehow. Raylene, do you only do investigations within the U.S.? As of right now, yes. Once my channel gets up to a point where it makes financial sense for me to go on these investigations, then yeah, it'll I 100% will, because one, I want to go back to, or I want to go to Scotland, which is where my family tree came from. I'm from the McCormick clan, family that invented the industrial reaper. So yeah, I'm going there. Harry, what's up, man? It's okay. It's cool. It was kind of a last minute thing. I wanted to kind of touch base. I was trying to do this yesterday, but I I fell in a creek and was just frustrated and came home. My ankle seems to be okay today, though. It's a little sore, but it's all right. Let's see here. Raylene, absolutely, I would love to. That would be freaking awesome. Let's see here. I want to give a shout out to Callista Marchant. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I know she said that she was getting started on YouTube, and I think, and I know she said she was doing investigations and she's working on getting some equipment. So I want to, share, check her out. Let's see here. So sleep paralysis. That was on one of the categories that you all were trying to get me to do the other live that I did. So let's talk about sleep paralysis. I think that would be kind of cool. So I've experienced sleep paralysis on multiple occasions. So here's kind of my thinking about this. And it's not fully developed. Elizabeth Gray, oh yeah. Dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You and Christian, y'all are awesome. Y'all have been a huge supporter of me since the beginning, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Y'all are fantastic. So, on multiple occasions, I've had sleep paralysis. Now, what's interesting to me is I didn't really start having sleep paralysis episodes until after I was in the military, and after I started going on these paranormal outings, which to me, you see a link there, something that you didn't experience like as a kid. Will W and Mia, thank you so much. That's freaking amazing. I really appreciate it. It makes me wonder if this condition, the sleep paralysis, is connected to that other side. Sleep in general fascinates me. Like, why do we sleep? Obviously to rest, to figure out problems, and to heal. But what is the difference between just closing your eyes for a while? Like, and everything that's alive does this, and during that time, we have these visions of like crazy things happening, like that is almost like it's happening in another dimension, and we're laying in our bed. Like, it's really fascinating to me. So back to the after I got out of the military, I started having some sleep paralysis, and a lot of the times it would happen after an investigation. So if I had gone to a haunted location, then that night, like, I would wake up and just kind of be like frozen in a sense. And when I got burned on my chest, I think that it was kind of like a form of sleep paralysis, because to this day, I don't know if I was awake. I don't know if I was asleep. I don't know exactly what was happening, but I remember seeing this boy, but like it wasn't a boy, like a little boy, but it wasn't a boy. Like, I knew it was not a boy, but I was looking at a boy, if that makes any sense. And he was mouthing something to me that I couldn't hear. I couldn't understand what he was saying. And then he takes his finger and sticks it in my chest, and it just burned me. And the next morning I wake up, go to the bathroom, take my shirt off, and sure enough, or I'd already had my shirt off, I go into the bathroom and look at myself in the mirror, and there's a fingerprint in my freaking chest. Like, it's so wild. So Big Racer's here. Thank you for coming, man. Yeah, we're in the camper right now. I'm getting it prepared for this big expedition I'm heading on. I'm really excited. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so we had a lot of people say a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to kind of go back up and see if I can find... Let's see here. Raylyn, that's an interesting question. Have I ever done any investigation in the catacombs? In any catacombs? So I haven't. I would love to, but obviously the famous catacombs are in Paris. I did backpack through Amsterdam when I was, or not just Amsterdam, but through the Netherlands. I was in Amsterdam for a while. But that's kind of the only place that I went to a place called Leeuwarden in the Netherlands. Went through all through Amsterdam, went through all of that back country through there. Got to see the windmills and all of that stuff. During that time, I wasn't really actively investigating the paranormal. I was just kind of experiencing what European life was like at the time. Obviously, in the United States during that time, the smoking of the ganja was not decriminalized or even popular. It wasn't socially acceptable. But when I went to Amsterdam, I thought I was doing something cool, so I did smoke a lot over there, and got to go see a lot of cool things, though. So it was really cool. But that's my furthest experience over there. Okay. Christian, I know you said something. I wasn't able to read it fast enough. Jim, what's up, man? Yeah, a big racer in the catacombs. If you get lost, you're done for. Kenny, do you believe there's a connection between cryptids and ETs? Yes, I 100% do now. I didn't before. I always kind of envisioned them as being kind of separate, but now that I've gotten into these investigations, I have gone to these locations, I have experienced this stuff like firsthand. I think that it's kind of functioning along kind of the same plane. So yeah. Nobody Shorts, hey, what's up? Thanks for coming. Mia, I'm petrified of black-eyed kids. So am I. You realize how freaking scary that would be? Like, holy crap. And that's an investigation that I want to try to get done. At one point, where was I coming back from? I think I was coming back from South Carolina, and I drove through the town where the moon-eyed people were said to have occurred, and I think that the moon-eyed people and the black-eyed kids are interconnected. So I'm not sure if it's maybe just the way that the stories have gone or what. Nobody Shorts, what's wrong with the kids with black eyes? So if you don't know, it's not necessarily that they were like punched in the face. Within the paranormal world, there are reports essentially all over the world that talk about these human beings that are shorter in stature, that their eyes are black. They have no white, they have no color. They just it's just totally black. So yeah. All right. Not sure what I think. Are they demons or ETs? So that's kind of a good question. And, bringing religion into studying paranormal, I get emails every day that I shouldn't do it, that I should not be investigating this, that, it's looked down upon. But from, like, my research and from my side of things, the way that I've tried to present this information is for people to recognize that this stuff is, in fact, real. It's not common, but it does happen, and it gives us a glimpse into what could potentially happen after, we pass away. So, yeah. Legacy Dragon, help, I need somebody help, not just anybody. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get kind of caught back up here. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. You just gotta tell these people to stick it. Like, who cares? If you're talking about skinwalkers, I just want you to know the more you say their name, the closer they come. So in East Tennessee, we have something that is similar to skinwalkers, but they're not directly connected to the Navajo, which I find is interesting because here we have two different areas that are kind of reporting the same kind of incidents happening, so I have a research area that I actually haven't been able to get back out to, but I think that in that particular area there is an entity there that is very similar to the skinwalker phenomenon. So Chris, any updates on the missing persons from your area? So with Summer Wells, it's gone like totally silent. It's really sad because, and that just kind of made me realize that I need to go back and do another video on her, because people, it needs to be in their face. Like, it really does. It's a horrible situation. Whether or not it was criminal or paranormal, either way, like, we as a nation need to come together and find Summer. The Sebastian Rogers case, I'm planning on heading back out towards Nashville soon. So I'm probably going to be doing some more investigating out there, and trying to look for him, look for leads, see if there's anything I can find. I know that Dog the Bounty Hunter decided that he was going to join the Sebastian Rogers case. Some of the stuff that he's been saying so far, it's very accusatory, and pretty... I don't think it's going to help the investigation. And I tried to be very mindful of that as well, because that's what has happened in both of these two major cases. Okay, and I'm noticing this connection here, and if you apply it to other cases too, this is what happens. The child goes missing. Immediately, everybody thinks they know exactly what happened and who did it. Rather than gathering more information in order to prove that they were responsible, everybody seems to go on Facebook and all these social media places, that go on the internet, they go on TV, and they talk about how they think that this person did something. Which, in reality, if they are pointing out something that they picked up, right, that person can then go back and cover up that crime. So we have to approach this in a different way. It's freaking scary. There hasn't been a whole lot of updates with Sebastian, other than the fact that Dog the Bounty Hunter has decided that he's going to participate. I don't know, maybe I can reach out to Dog and do a collab. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? I don't know how well that would work. But yeah, Christian, these missing person cases are freaking haunting. It's scary. It's really scary. And it, it doesn't just happen with the children. It happens with adults too. So, yeah. So maybe if everybody emailed Dog the Bounty Hunter and told him that you need to get in contact with Black Mass, he knows the woods of Appalachia, and he knows how to guide you, maybe we could work something out. So, Mel, yeah, for sure. I agree with that 100%. The majority of these situations where somebody is harmed or something like that, it's most likely somebody that is close to them. Um, what is interesting and it's not really interesting, it's sad, in the both Summerwell's case and the Sebastian Rogers case, is that they just essentially vanished. They're just out of thin air. Whether or not the information that was provided to the police from it is accurate or not, who knows? But they just disappeared, and that's really freaking scary. Let's see here. What's the best thing to do if you are lost in the woods at night with a gun? Okay, we can definitely go here. So the first thing that you want to do is pull out your cell phone and put in Google Maps. I'm just kidding. So we're assuming you do not have, the only thing that you have are the clothes on your back and the pistol, that you got. The best thing that you can do if it's at night is stay put. And this is a good rule of thumb for going on any adventure out in the woods. If you go out, and this happens all the time, like all the time, people go on a hike, they will go out in the woods, and instead of peeing on the trail, they will go off of the trail, use the bathroom, and then get lost. They're not able to find the trail after they left. So first things first, anytime that you are going into a national park or woods, you have to tell somebody where you are going. Even if you don't have anybody to tell, but maybe your work would be the one checking on you, leave a note on the door saying, hey, I went to the Smoky Mountains. I should be back later. If you're reading this, please send a search party. The first thing you want to do is stay where you're at, because it is so much harder for you to be found if you are walking around in circles. So you always want to stay put. Depending on the season, you want to think about shelter. With the water situation, your body can survive without water for 3 days. Okay, you don't need to be worried about food. The average person can survive 18 days without food. So you have to prioritize what you are doing first. So if you can, stay right where you're at, and hopefully one of your loved ones will send a person to find you. But if it's wintertime, you have, or in extreme heat, you'll need to find shelter. That's the easiest way to become like discombobulated, is if you have an exposure. If you get too cold, you go into hypothermia. One of the biggest indicators of hypothermia, and it's kind of odd that this happens, is you feel like that you are overheating. So a lot of these situations where these hikers will go out into the woods, they find them typically naked, because the hypothermia will set on, and they feel like they're sweating and they feel like they're overheating, so they take off all of their clothes. So that's one of the key signs of hypothermia. So obviously heat exhaustion is the other side of the coin. So those things can happen to you like really fast. So yeah. Okay, so I just went on a huge rant and ignored a lot of I wasn't ignoring. I'm sorry. Okay, we'll go all the way up to Henry. Oak Ridge portals are the reason for the disappearances. What's up, Brian? Awesome video. So that's really interesting. I have a complete fascination with CERN and with Oak Ridge. Since here recently, I've really got into investigating in the Oak Ridge area. Like, there's some weird shit that happens. Like, they have like the camo dudes too. Like, if you go near certain parts of Oak Ridge, like, they know that you're there, like, immediately. Like, and they come out of what seems to be out of the freaking woods, like underground tunnel or something, and they're just like right on top of you. You know, whether or not it's their security forces are like top notch, or they have cameras or drones monitoring everything. I don't really know. Something was happening yesterday, though. I did notice, because a lot of the trails were completely shut down. Like, you couldn't access them anywhere near the wilderness. Like, they just wouldn't let you go. And then we had that physicist. I don't think that she was joking. I think I know that she came back and said that she was joking, but I don't think that she actually was. So that was a whole nother situation. But yeah, the portals, because, okay, here's another point. Okay, we have people that go missing in the United States every day. We have people that are found in the United States every day that we don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they came from. They don't know what they were doing in, freaking Washington State when they were in Florida yesterday. It's so weird. And I think it's happening more often than we anticipated, or it happens more often than we recognize, and we just kind of let it go. And for me, that's freaking weird. Yeah. So, ATO winner, are you a ghost hunter? I wouldn't say that I'm a ghost hunter. I like ghost hunting. I think it's fun to go to places that are supposedly haunted and see what happens. I've gathered some pretty, convincing evidence that, shows the existence of the afterlife. So, I obviously want to reproduce that. Not to mention, I had a personal experience which really kind of drove me into this. So, yeah. I do have a photograph that I'm really, I don't know how I want to kind of present it, but I want to challenge. I want to create a challenge, to see if crap. Sorry, my phone's ringing right now. I'll have to. It's the VA, so if I hit hang up, sorry. If I hit hang up, they will immediately call me right back, and they might do that anyway. And of course, they are. Sorry, y'all. Just give me a second. It's kind of awkward. I will call you back, doctor. I saw your email. Okay. Lost my train of thought. Oh, anyway, so I have a photograph that I want to kind of challenge graphic designers, AI detection software, to see if it, just to show that it was not digitally created, because it's such a unique piece of evidence. And I've ran it through multiple AI detectors just to see kind of what it would say, and every time it's human creation, or whatever the verbiage is that they use. Nancy Hawkins, where are you from? I am from East Tennessee. I grew up basically on the line of Loudoun County. It's kind of the current destination for a lot of people. Loudoun County really kind of used to be, there would be a group of, which was me and my friends, a group of rednecks, basically running around, working on farms and working on our trucks and stuff like that. And then towards the end, towards Tellico Village, used to be like our, like East Tennessee's kind of like retirement community. So a lot of our elderly went to live out in Tellico Village. All of that's changed. So, yeah. Did I find anything else, Elizabeth Gray? Did I find anything else at Tellico? Let me think. I've been on a couple investigations since then. I don't think that I did. I'm not sure. I'll double check and see. All right. Okay. Pearl Notion says, "Hey, whistle at your own risk." Yeah, out in the wilderness. That's an interesting phenomenon that happens. I don't know what that is. Obviously, a lot of people tie it to the Skinwalker theory, but it's something that happens. It's something that I've captured multiple times on film or on my camera, and it's really, really strange. Let's see here. Yep. Okay, wait a minute. Who's new? I show speed not. I'm new. What's up? I show speed not. Thank you for coming. That's freaking awesome. Lori, I don't like what's happening with CERN. I agree. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, do it again. Turn up the heat. Let's just, if we're gonna do this, let's do this. But yeah. Pearl Nation, I've got one. I've got multiple. Let's see here. Yep. We're talking about people eating pets and stuff. Tanya Lover. No, we aren't. But that, I do my best to not be political on this channel. I have my set of views, and I don't think that they're radical at all. Some say that it is radical. I personally just want to be left alone. So, that's just kind of the way I am. But the situation with illegal immigration is very scary. Being in the military, I served on the U.S.-Mexico border for a long time. I experienced the inhumanity of man. It's really sad. And that's something that I've always kind of struggled with this channel, is because I have a vast amount of knowledge based on my personal experience of being on the border. Like, I was there, like, under two administrations. I was there under Obama, and I was there under Trump. I saw how both governments or both administrations handled it firsthand. So it's like, it's frustrating to me because the media tells a lot of lies, a whole lot of lies. They're extremely dishonest with how they present the information. They're patronizing. It's really sad. Like, I was there when that the famous photo that kind of went out with, like, I was on the border, like, when all of this was going down, and there was this photo of a soldier taking the child away from this mother, and it really depicted something that was really bad, like the U.S. government was somehow snatching this baby away. But in reality, what was happening was the child was being taken away, not away, but across the room for medical care. It's just like when that came about and that happened, and me like knowing I had been like in those rooms and like saw these people firsthand, like it just kind of breaks my heart, because it makes us look horrible, but that's not what was happening. But it's something that I've always struggled with talking about on this channel. Maybe I can go into it one day, maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to. I want my channel to kind of be an escape from all of that craziness, because I think it's gotten to the point where it's crazy. Like we are. I don't know, but in with the whole cat thing, and eating dogs, it comes down to like people they do what they have to do to survive. Like it's not that, and that's another thing that's kind of frustrating to me, because I've had firsthand experience with immigration, is that it's not that these people are like, I don't know, no matter how I say it, it's going to come out wrong, but it's human nature to want to survive, and if that's the only access that you have, I mean, like we're all going to be doing it here in a couple years. So yeah. Do I believe, Elizabeth Gray, do I believe in time travel? I definitely think that time travel is possible. If my kind of understanding of how things work is kind of correct, I feel like that we exist on a plane. I think that there are multiple planes in which we exist on. Okay, so you're not necessarily time traveling, because I think we have a horrible understanding of how time works, but I think it is possible for us to reach those other planes. I also think that that is a huge part of the paranormal, is that these different planes sometimes intersect each other, and when those intersections happen, it is when we have a paranormal experience. So yeah. Gondorian Slayer, thanks for coming in. You didn't miss anything. You're cool. Is there a chance that this is a whole simulation? That's something that I have struggled with since the Simpsons episode, and I remember it happening. There was a Simpsons episode that came out when I was a kid. I remember watching it on this tube TV. I saw it. I think it was Homer, got lost, and there's like all of this. I'm gonna have to go back and find this episode, because because it really fucked with my head. But Homer falls into like a wormhole or something, and he's kind of in the simulation. So from that point on, like when I was a kid, like I would constantly like look at my hands, and I would be like, what is happening here? Like what? And I've always kind of thought that possibly we could be living in a simulation. So it's definitely possible. Let's see here. Pearl Notion, what if there is no such thing as the future or the past because it's always now? That is such a good point. That is such a good point. Because there is, and that kind of goes along with with me talking about our understanding and comprehension of time, because things just get so confusing. It just, a lot of it doesn't make any sense. But that's a good point, man. Yeah. All right, let me go back up here. Let's see here. Eddie, thank you so much for the PayPal, dude. That is amazing. Any bit helps. Any bit helps. Thank you so much. I'm like so grateful. Let's see here. Okay. My daughter's on here. Okay. Wait, Matthew Mount, I saw you. What's up, man? Matthew Mount asked me, do you carry on hunts? If so, what's your favorite carry option? If not a gun, then what? So that's a very, very good, relevant question. So here is my standing. On the old YouTube here, we have a lot of people that will use firearms as a prop, okay, to try to make the scene seem more scary, to feel more scary, and I am totally against that. I am totally against that. So, with that being said, you don't typically see my weapon on camera. Now, depending on where I am going to be, I will always have a 9mm on me. It's my favorite round. It's sorry, I just got another notification. It's my favorite round. From my experience working with the class 1 and class 2 animals, the 9mm or 10mm is the most effective round that you can use, because of its velocity. It's a lot faster, therefore will cause the animal to bleed out a little quicker. So when you're trying to get through like a bear, something of that size, you need something that will really penetrate. Not saying that a 40 cal or a 50 cal or those rounds won't work. It's just my personal preference. Also with the 40 cal, they create a bigger hole, so in the initial impact, so they don't necessarily make it all the way through the animal, or they do not penetrate deep enough. So yeah. My other firearm that I would typically carry would just be it's an AR-15. It's pretty simple. Depending on where I'm going, what I potentially think could be there, I might carry 5.56 or I might carry 223 rounds. It really just depends on the situation, depends on what I'm doing. If I'm going out with my AR and I'm thinking I want to bring home a deer or a boar, I might bring I might have 223 rounds in there. Whether or not there's that big of a difference between the two, I don't know. There might not be. The 5.56 obviously is going to be a little bit faster. So, whatever. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. All right. Jaja Do Null. Why have guns? It's stupid. Mom would kill me if I brought home gear. So the reason why I carry a gun, why I have a gun, is because one, my background is solely based on living in East Tennessee. It's a big part of heritage in East Tennessee, and you want to, I don't know, it's just, I like firearms. I feel safer, I do need it. I like it. And Second Amendment, it's mainly against tyranny. The Second Amendment has nothing to do with hunting at all. It has to do with fighting against tyrants. So, yeah, they are for your family. They are for your protection. Simple as that. But you don't have to buy one. I don't mind. So, and I think that our founding fathers recognized that, and that's a big reason why our country has survived as long as it has, because other countries know that if you are going to try to invade the United States, not only do you have to deal with the most powerful military in the world, you have to deal with the citizens that have firearms. So, if we lived in a perfect world, then yeah, cool. But, I'll give up mine when everybody else does. So, and swords, I have swords too. I like swords. Yeah, Yancey freedom. All right, let's go back up here. Mel Graham, my EDC is a 9mm, but for big game carry, I carry 357 long gun. I'm a 30 cal nut, or 308 or 7.62. All of those are fantastic rounds. All of those are fantastic firearms. Yeah, it's an excellent selection. My only thing is with the, it just doesn't really, I don't know, the recoil on like the 357 can really kind of distort, your, I don't know, but then again, it is a 357, so it doesn't fucking matter, because it's getting rid of whatever's in front of you. So, Jaja Doonal, this guy has problems. Dude, you're telling me, man, I have got some serious problems. Like, I don't think, no, like, you think I just don't recognize this? Like, what are you talking about? like, of course I do. Like, what? I love my firearms. I think firearm safety should be taught in schools. Kids need to know, like, what happens with a firearm. They need to know that whatever this firearm is pointed at is going to get destroyed. My children know how to handle a firearm. Like, they do. So, in all of these situations, the majority of these people that commit crimes with them, they're not the ones that are advocating for firearms educations and firearms safety. It is what it is. Tanaya, there it is. Okay. Tanaya Simpson, thank you so much. You are freaking awesome. Let's see here. Jada Noodle, no, it isn't. I don't, man. You do you. Like, seriously. Like, what is, I don't really understand. Like, what do you think? Okay. In the United States, there are currently, like, in people's hands, like, across the United States, there are over 400 million firearms. The fact that we have mass shootings and the fact that we have these horrific things happening, it's not just the firearm that is responsible for this. Like, I understand, like, where you're coming from, and it seems like an easy solution to just say, let's just get rid of firearms, but it doesn't work. Look what happened in London. Like, they got rid of firearms, a horrific act was committed on a bunch of kids, and they were using knives. Like, it doesn't change, like, the outcome. Like, I just personally don't think it does. And then after that, they were talking about getting rid of pointy knives. Like, you can't have a pointy knife. Like, what? Like, do you realize how easy it is? Like, man, it's just, I don't know. I don't understand the logic. And the fact that that people are willing to put their faith in a system that has consistently proven cannot be trusted over and over and over again. Sorry. Like, I'm freaking, I don't trust them. Tina, exactly. People do it. Rockstar, Brian, all the channels I've watched that had to do with Bigfoot or Dogman, the men are saying that only a 30-06 or equivalent can only take them out and save yourself from them. I wouldn't necessarily say only a 30-06 can do that. I would argue that a 5.56 round could. I would argue that a 9mm or 10mm round could. Maybe not just a single shot, unless it was, like, perfectly placed, and the chances of that happening are pretty low in a high stress situation. For those that aren't active, in using firearms, when you are put in a situation where you are having to fight for your life, your adrenaline becomes, like, overload. You can get the shakes, your breathing gets off. There's all of these factors that can happen, and just the basics, just the raw basics of using a firearm, the direction, like your left and right, is determined by your trigger squeeze. So if you're going to be pushing it, your round's going to go right. If you're going to be pulling it, your round's going to go left. If you pull it, your round's going to go right. And then your breathing affects, your up and down. So there's so many different factors that can come into play during that I think that a 9mm round or a 10mm round could be just as effective, depending on your distance. The 30-06 typically is going to be fired from a rifle. I don't know of too many pistol platforms that will fire 30. I mean, I know there's a couple out there. I did see some of them, but you know, I just I think that it's crucial to have either a 9mm or a 10mm, one for the recoil and the velocity. So yeah, does that make sense? I kind of got into a weird rant and started talking about how you're going to shoot, but you know, that's something that you got to take into account. Because I mean, think about, like, if something's coming at you, how quickly you're able to get those rounds off is going to be more crucial than the initial placement. Because most likely that first, you know, and most people do this when they pull their firearm. They tend to release. They tend to fire the weapon before they get it up to their sight. So there's a position there. So you're raising your weapon with a 30-06. That recoil is going to kind of set you off, and you're not going to be able to get a round off quick enough. So yeah. Yeah, he just like disappeared, huh? It's kind of funny. All right, so I'm just kind of give you a warning. No negative religious stuff. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. What are the signs of a Dogman around? That's a very, very good question. So with the Dogman, what I have found is typically there are concentrations of excessive amounts of quartz. Why? I have no idea. It's just happens that where these reports are happening, and where the Dogman are spotted, typically overlay with quartz. Another thing that I've noticed are pine trees. There seems to be an excessive amount of pine trees in the areas where these things are seen. You know, do pine trees have something to do with the Dogman? I don't know. Maybe it's just the environment that they prefer to exist in. Typically, when a Dogman is reported in an area for the weeks or months prior, wildlife, typically they start finding heavily dismembered corpses of wildlife, like something got a hold of it and just tore it apart. I've seen in a lot of cases where cows are attacked. They tend to like do massive damage to cows and to deer. With the deer situation, it's a little bit stranger, and you know, I don't know why, but in a lot of these cases, I've seen only half of a deer carcass gets eaten. I don't know why. But then once you are out there, typically what I have found in the locations is I will typically find hair, and the hair that the Dogman has, in my opinion, is really strange. It's almost kind of like hog hair. Like it's extremely coarse, but it's even more like you can almost like you can basically break it. Is how coarse this is. Homer Simpson, we see you. Okay. Hi. But yeah, that's kind of oh yeah, and then the eyes are typically seen tend to be green or kind of gold. In some cases, they are red. So yeah. Where are you talking about Wendigos when you were referring to the Skinwalkers? And what is in your area that's somewhat similar to Skinwalkers? Yeah, exactly. The Wendigo. I think it's very similar in the way that the stories are told, the way that the interactions happen. I think they're very, very similar to what the Navajo ideal of the Skinwalker is. So, yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm not sure if I was clear with that. Maybe I was. Maybe I wasn't. Let's see here. What are the habits of the Dogman and Bigfoot, if we know? So, Miss Buddy Harris, the habits. That's an interesting question. Obviously, with the Dogman, you typically, what I've found, you typically find a lot of destruction, whether it would be the wildlife or like the brush kind of in general. Like when I've gone out, I've seen a lot of brush that just seems like it's just been shredded up. I don't know why. I don't know if it's trying to make a bed or what it's doing, but that's typically what I see. With the Dogman, I feel like it travels very similarly to like a tiger. Tigers need massive areas just to kind of roam, so they walk constantly. With Sasquatch, obviously, and I really want to kind of dig in to this side of it. Sasquatches tend to build structures, whether or not the structures are for them to like sleep in or live in. There is a consistent, like pretty much predictable arrangement of trees that happen with the Bigfoot. The Bigfoot, in my opinion, the behaviors are totally different. I don't think that the Dogman. Okay, let me backtrack. Okay, I don't think that the Bigfoot is necessarily an aggressive creature. I do not consider myself to be an empath or like telepathic or like saying that I can speak to the dead or like anything like that. I'm not that guy. I am very, however, kind of sensitive to the environment. What's up, Susie? Thanks for coming on. Chainsaw, what's up, brother? The feeling, the overall feeling that you get, or at least I get, when you're in the woods with a Bigfoot is totally different than when you're in the woods with a Dogman. The Dogman, you immediately feel like you are being heavily watched, like you are on the plate of dinner. Like it is like it feels like you're about to get into a fight, and it's just like weird. It's a really odd feeling. With the Bigfoot, I feel like a lot of the times it's just like a kind of curiosity type feeling. Now, is this my mood? Maybe. But from the places that I've been, I really picked this up on like the first investigation that I did in one of Scott Carpenter's areas. At the time, I had no idea that Scott Carpenter was actually doing research in the area. Now, my good friend Willis had reached out to me and said that he had captured this image on one of his trail cams in this area, and wanted me to kind of go out and look. What's up, Zoe? Thank you so much for stopping in. So when I initially went out there, he had told me that he had captured what he thought to be a Dogman on camera, on trail cam. The picture was really interesting, and I was like, yeah, I'll go out there and look. So I go out, and when I go to like that side, it's all pine trees. There's heavy amounts of quartz really throughout the entire area. And I go and I'm like looking around. I don't find a whole lot of evidence. Like there's just not a whole lot going on. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to probably head back to the truck and go home. As I'm walking back, I do kind of get this weird, like, I'm being watched feeling. Once I get out of that area and away from that situation, I see this other trail, and I look down and I'm like, oh, here's another trail. I haven't investigated over here, so let me walk out to this side and see what all is there. And I got all of this on camera, and as I'm walking, I look down and I see what is clearly Bigfoot footprints. I'm like overly, like, I'm like shocked, like I don't even know what to do. And then I hear something moving in the woods, and I look over and I see this big creature running away from me, moving through the woods. Like at that time, like I didn't even know what to say. I was like so like blown away to what happened, and like I'm looking at the camera and I say, I think I'm about to get eaten by Bigfoot. Like, but the environment then after, once I started moving forward, really kind of like that feeling really changed. And it seemed to be more of like a curiosity type feeling. And I don't know, it's just one of those things. So yeah. Okay, I've missed a ton of comments here. All right. The narrator, this guy seems interesting. Thank you. Let's see here. Pearl Notion. Have you seen the A stick arrangements Bigfoot does? I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, I have seen arrangements that are Bigfoot, in my opinion. I've got a here's another interesting thing that happened in Scott Carpenter's area where he used to investigate. There was like he had this kind of like gifting tree thing that he would do. I don't necessarily know for sure that this was Scott Carpenter's, but I found an area that looked very similar. And decided I was going to try to do the same thing, where I, put down some rocks, and then I would come back later. When I had come back, my rocks were gone, and Bigfoot had replaced it with these quartz pieces of one rock, which was really cool. And it was just kind of one of those things that, it happened, and you don't really know what to think about it. It's just like, okay, well, Bigfoot gave me a quartz piece, so I still have, I think I've got, it was 3 pieces in total. I gave 1 piece to my good friend Willis, and then I've got the other one, so it's kind of cool. Okay. Can a dogman take human form? I heard they can. Could they live in the open like Finland, etc.? We have reports of them here in the UK. So there's a difference between a werewolf and a dogman. So in my opinion, I don't necessarily. I should probably look into this a little bit more with the idea of a werewolf. Now there are shapeshifters for one, so it's not necessarily can a dogman turn into a human. I think that there's another entity out there that can kind of take the form of many different things. The dogman is typically described as having like a human-like torso with a canine head. They, to my knowledge, they don't typically, or they do not transform into like a werewolf from a human to a dogman. They are always dogman. But then again, you have the werewolf side of things that has been, popularized in just kind of modern culture. So it's one of those situations. It's kind of like the vampire, Okay. I think you mentioned Dogman leaves his urine marking his territory. Yes, 100%. It does. It produces this really nauseating odor. I've also found a black kind of substance. I don't know what that is. I don't really know how to go about testing it because it smells really acidic, like really, really acidic. When there was a sighting of the Mothman kind of creature in the Oak Ridge area, I found this black kind of substance there too. I did find this black substance at a complete another location as well, so it's a good possibility. How many times? I think I found it 3 times in total. So yeah, they do produce they mark their territory, which I'm kind of getting into experimenting with coyote urine. So I don't. It's weird. Okay. Ripple Effect says Bigfoot is a fallen angel. I definitely think that is a realistic possibility. That's up there. I do. So just so you all know, me personally, I have had paranormal experiences myself, and I really started getting into and researching the paranormal for a while. Then I decided that I wanted to try to reproduce what I experienced personally and capture that again. Is why I got into putting my content on YouTube. Now, I don't necessarily follow other researchers really close. I did follow Scott Carpenter. He was so amazing, and he had so many just awesome ideas. After he had passed, it was hard for me to follow another kind of research path. So I really decided that I was going to develop my own theories on this, and by going to the locations where Bigfoot and feral people and all of this stuff is reported, and develop my own idea of how things work. So that's kind of interesting. Andre Washington, what hate group are you a part of? Tell me, brother. I don't know what does that mean? Freaking weird. Yeah. So, God. Okay, we doing this? We can do this. It's cool. Here's my thing. I grew up in East Tennessee. The area that I grew up in, up the road, had a sign that said, the N-word, don't show your face after dark. The majority of my family is from, they kind of moved around. They moved from West Virginia to Florida to East Tennessee, where I was born. During that time, there, the whole race relation thing was totally different. I personally never understood it. I didn't like it. I have always done my best to judge people based on their character and how they treat other people and how they treated me. I do not care the color of your skin. I do not care what's between your legs. I don't care what you do in your private life. I think everybody should be equally respected. And it's really weird to me because I grew up in an area where there was racism. People did have these ideas. They never acted on them, at least to my knowledge. And then when I went through high school and stuff, all of that stuff was left in the past. And then for some reason, here we are in 2024 talking about this stuff. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's what? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. And when I say that I don't care the color of your skin or your sexual preference, I want you to realize that it is wholeheartedly, I do not care what you look like. I don't care what you do in your private life. Okay? Period. Leave me out of it. Okay? I think women are absolutely sacred creatures that we have to protect to the fullest extent of our existence. That's me. I just think women, that's just the way that I think. I've actually been called out because I said I don't care, and they're like, you should care. I'm like, why should I care what you do in your private life? That's none of my business. It's none of my business. You should have equal opportunity as long as you have a consenting partner, or it's just silly to me. It's so silly to me. And I cannot believe, and it's heartbreaking that we are in this situation now. So I'll make that very clear to everybody. You have the freedom to worship your God. You have the freedom to do whatever you want to do to make yourself happy. Okay? And that's the end of it. It's so please do not come into my channel that I am actively trying to sidestep all of this political stuff to offer people a way away from it, a place where I'm trying to inspire you to go out on an adventure to better yourself, whether it be to get healthier, whether it to be improve your mental health, whether it to be to make your mental health worse, you know, by going and looking for demons, you know, whatever it is. That's what I'm trying to do with this channel. And the fact that we have this happening in my comment section is crazy to me. Like, it's stupid. So take that shit somewhere else. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, cool. Got it. I do need more mods. So I once I end this live stream, I will take the time. I did get a couple of them set up, but my attention span, I have the attention span of a gnat. So when I decide I'm going to do a live stream and try to turn this around, you know, it's I don't think about having to contact the moderators and tell them I'm going live. So yeah, and I don't want to ban people either, by the way. I don't want to do that, because I want to be a sense of positivity in everybody's life, you know. And for me to sit here and preach that this channel is an avenue for you of getting away from the political nonsense that's occurring actively right now, and the manipulation, you don't really know me, and you come in and you start talking crazy. I warn you, one of two things will happen. You either take the hint and you stop and leave, or, you know, you're gonna, like, I'm eventually going to have to boot you, and that's not what I want to do. I really don't. So, you know, I just want everybody to know that's. So I'll probably start putting people in timeout. I'll probably tell my moderators to put them in timeout, and then maybe they'll have, you know, a come to Jesus moment. You know, they're like, here's this dude creating content for me to watch, and I'm acting a fool. So yeah. Tania Simpson. Okay. If you could email me with your with your screen name, I'll get that set up. So, but yeah, okay. So enough of that. And I'm sorry about that, but you know, there's a lot of people that you don't know my views on things, and in a sense, I've kind of kept it somewhat quiet. You could probably guess, but the fact that somebody would sit here and just say, "What hate group are you a part of?" Like, I don't know if he was talking about because I'm from Tennessee or because I like firearms or what, but that just kind of it's really irritating because. I could be, you know, I grew up like I could have a totally different outlook on life, but I don't. So, you know, I consider myself blessed for that because it's just like horrible. Like, I couldn't imagine walking around feeling like that, like having to overanalyze everybody, like wonder, you know. But yeah. It's cool. Andre Washington. White people love sundown towns. And you know why. They have ropes. I mean, what do you think, like, what are you looking to achieve with a statement like that? You think that helps racial tensions, or are you just going to be like, it's silly. Let's not do that. Let's move forward. Thank you, Shelly. Shelly's always got my back. That's what I'm talking about. But in a sense, I do kind of, you know, being able to start a live stream in the middle of the day on a Wednesday and we've had over 100 people in here pretty consistently. In a sense, I do have a responsibility to be a little bit more transparent with you all, and kind of let you all get to know me a little bit better as a person. But yeah, no, you know, racism is not a part of this. You know, it's silly. It's so silly. Like, Sir Spookfest. Been watching your adventures a long time. Yeah, you have. You've had my back the whole time. What I have planned, Willis, dude, you're like 2 hours late. I emailed you. So Willis had pointed something out to me. No, wait. Willis always tells me that he wants me to email him before I go live. Or I try to email him before I go live. He doesn't necessarily want me to. But I do, because I know he likes coming in and he likes hanging out. Willis is an awesome guy. But he always shows up late. And I'm like, dude, come on now. Like, but Willis is awesome, guys. He's been a huge part of kind of behind the scenes with the channel. He's a wonderful individual. So he's always been there. He's always been a sounding board for me when I got frustrated. And he's really kind of really helped shape who I am. So yeah. But anyway, this expedition coming up. See, now I have the camper ready and rocking. I'm really excited about it because it's going to be in a position. It's going to put me in a position where I am surrounded by the paranormal. And it's going to be somewhat comfortable. So, you know, if I need to take a break, I can just go over to my camper, sit down for a few minutes, and away we go. So, is he still doing it? Like, okay, JJ Doonell, dude, like, we have to like, are you really gonna make me like ban you? You look like you need McDonald's. What does that mean? Are you like commenting on my weight? Like, this is not a McDonald's cup. This is an Ingles cup. Stop it. Stop it. You had plumbing problems? Been there. So, yeah. And I don't know. I'll give him a chance. He can try to stay around. If he can't, like, it's silly. Like you're not, like, it doesn't bother me, man. Like, it really doesn't. You look stupid and it's distracting. So, what is one thing that you all want to see me try in this upcoming expedition? Are there any tests that you all want me to run? Is there any type of camera type footage that you would like to see? Meaning, like, would you like to see a concentration on full spectrum camera? Would you like to see maybe things presented in like a black and white type format? How would you all, do you all have any ideas on something that could be unique that you would like to see going on in my channel with this upcoming investigation? Okay. All right. Well, I think Peril was asking some questions, so I would like to give him an opportunity. I mean, Peril's not necessarily saying anything like horrible. All right, dude. You are going in timeout for 24 hours. You cannot participate in my channel. Okay? Like, it's stupid. I don't want to do this. Okay? I don't. It's silly. Like, if you have no interest in the paranormal, and you want to start seeing less paranormal, what I would recommend you do is stop going to paranormal channels and commenting. Okay? This increases engagement. So therefore, those creators then get pushed out to more people. Okay? I don't particularly care, but you are disrupting everybody else. They've asked me over and over. So this is your one-time warning. You are banned from the channel for 24 hours. And then hopefully if you can act right, you can come back and you can be a part of the Black Mass community. So, see ya. Alright. Okay. So he's gone. Human person, stop faking paranormal content. You're just coming in hot, huh? Dude, you're getting exhausting. I don't, like I said, I don't want to ban people. Like, if you think that, like, I'm doing something nefarious, I want you to be able to talk to me about it. Like, I will talk to you about anything that's on my channel. So, or anything that's going on. Okay. He clearly doesn't know my channel, so it's okay. And they're wanting attention, but I got it. Anyway, so before that, y'all. Okay, human person. You, if you're just gonna spam, if you're just gonna spam, I'm not hiding you for 24 hours because of your comments for your spamming. Okay, we're just not gonna do it. We want to talk paranormal. Anyway, so coming up on the upcoming investigations, it's going to be in that area where I've captured that thing on the trail cam. So I'm going to be camping and I'm going to be staying up there. So we should be able to capture some good evidence. Brian, can you do more investigations on feral people? So with the feral people can be, in my opinion, kind of a little bit more difficult. One, because I think that the feral people exist kind of only in this certain area, at least as of right now, that I have been able to establish. So it can be kind of repetitive when I go out to the same location, kind of looking for the same thing, because it's really easy to get kind of tunnel vision with that. I definitely will be going back. My last investigation, I went up there looking for the tunnels and was working on several things there, and managed to break my cameras. I was able to get one replaced, so I'm still kind of working on saving up the cash to get the 360. I had hoped I would have enough money to get the 360 before I go back and investigate the feral people in that area, because I think having a 360 cam is like essential now that I've done this and I've been there, and I know that these things are out there in this area. I want to make sure that I have the proper equipment when I go. Does that make sense? I don't want to just go out to this location, expose the fact that I know that they are there, because then they could move or whatever, and not get the proper footage that I need. So, yeah, I'm in the process of it. Well, I'll do it here soon. I'm just working on getting the funding that I need to buy the replacement camera. Patrick, yes, you can. My PayPal is the best way to help with equipment purchases. YouTube takes 30%, and I don't see that money for at least 30 days. So it's kind of sucks. So yeah, PayPal or Cashapp, they're in my description. So yeah, that would be the best way, and I would be extremely grateful, and we'll give you a big shout out in the upcoming video. So okay, I saw a really good question. Clarko, do you have a drone operator yet? So I was in the process of buying a drone, and I came to the realization that using a drone in the national forest is extremely illegal. I also am supposed to pay commercial video fees now to the national park when I go out there and film. I can get in a lot of trouble if I get caught and don't have the proper licenses. With the drone, you cannot use a drone in a national park. They say that it disturbs the animals, and they are totally against it. Willis, thank you, brother. I'm trying, man. I know that they take it very, very seriously, because my son and I had, we were in Cades Cove. We had gotten just kind of this cheaper drone. you know, it wasn't like the high end one yet before I had invested in that. We were in Kate's Cove. I had the drone. I sent it up, and within 5 minutes, I had a ranger on top of me saying, "You get that drone back immediately. You cannot have any drone footage of you. You can't have any drones used in the national park." So yeah, you can get pretty massive fines, which really sucks. I want to figure out a way that I could do it, and I have an idea of how I can do it, but I'm going to have to purchase the, I don't know. My thinking, okay, so in my travels here, and in my research, obviously I set up game cams. Terry, what's up, man? Thank you so much, dude. I set up game cams, and with those game cams, I get all kinds of wildlife that pass through. So I have a lot of videos and pictures of squirrels. I have a lot of video and pictures of deer. But I also have captured something called the coy wolf. Now, the people up north will recognize what the coy wolf is. We don't have those. We're not supposed to have those in Appalachia, in this far south. So my thinking is, if I can track these, Mia, I could get a permit in order to use a drone in certain areas. Because I would think that wildlife, you know, I think that they would be interested in allowing me to do something like that. So, yeah. Modders, monsters, all things migrate. Yeah, you know, and we had the red wolf here, and it was extirpated. Interesting word of the day. From this area, which they say that it's gone. They say that it's not in this area, but I pretty much disagree with that. You know, I don't think that they're gone. I think that they're here. The red wolves. I think we have gray wolves too. Yeah. So, Jeff, thanks, brother. Yeah, it's gonna be an awesome time. I'm really excited about it. Obviously, I'm just like hanging out and talking to you all for 2 hours. I think this has been fun. I've enjoyed it. We've had some. I'm not necessarily, you know, saying I'm going to get off right now, but yeah. I just got to sit down for a second. My ankle's killing me. My back's killing me. Let's see here. There are wolves. What the hell just happened? Ah! Don't you die on me. Well, that's good. So, I can turn this on. Ah! Wrong way. My bad. There we go. What was I saying? Totally forgot where I was going with that. Anyway. Ellen, thank you. I love you. I appreciate the support. You're freaking amazing. Janice, I'm glad you enjoy my live content. Oh, Christian has some crazy stuff happen. He's gotten some really interesting content. What do I think the deal is with orbs? Do they mess with you when you use night vision? The majority of orbs are dust particles, to be honest. I have seen some plasma orbs. I think that the plasma orbs are a kind of a result of the change of best way to explain this, the change of how these different planes work, but it's just my theory. So yeah, orbs can be extremely distracting for a lot of people. I know a lot of investigators get kind of caught up with the orb phenomenon, and I think it has to do with the paranormal, but I think it's more of like an environmental piece. I don't think that it's necessarily a part of one of these entities. I think it could be a result of that kind of dimensional plane changing. I've heard a lot of different things about him. Some people say that, they can hurt you. Me personally, I've never experienced that. But, have I heard of David Pilates? Yes, I have. David's awesome. He's done some really, really cool work. I've really enjoyed. He's really the main researcher that I look up to now. Did you put your crystals they gave you in water? No, I didn't. Was I supposed to? Yeah, and David's done some really important work with bringing awareness to this disappearing kind of phenomenon that's happening. I think everybody in America knew that like people like disappeared, but they automatically went to some sort of maybe criminal activity or something. And David's never like come out and straight up said that it's Bigfoot eating people, but he's definitely leaned towards a paranormal towards paranormal reasoning for their disappearances. So I don't know. One thing that I'm surprised he hasn't gotten into really is the John Does, or maybe he has. I don't know. What's up, Giga? People are astonishing. Notice in haunted homes, usually orbs are around. Yeah, they do happen a lot more with hauntings that I've noticed than the kind of cryptid activity. But I don't know. I've been... Maybe that's something you all would like to see me get into and investigate a little bit more in depth, It's talking about the orb phenomenon. David did a video on Summer Wells and her missing Aunt Rose. Really? I have not seen that. Jason, I hope in the future you do a live stream and tell stories by the campfire. That would be cool. We could do that. For sure. That would be fun. So it looks like we have some people coming in here. Oh, Patrick, I know, man. It's like people want attention. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. They don't want to have an interaction with another human being for some reason. I don't know. I grew up in a time that, like, if you talk crazy to somebody, there's a good chance you get punched in the face. So it can be a little bit distracting and kind of confusing when you have somebody just on the internet running their mouth behind a secret screen name and a just a normal like profile picture, like. But people are people. I don't know. I think it might be kids, though. I've come to the conclusion. I don't think that a lot of these people doing this are actually grown men. Like, and they're always like, get a job. Like, dude, like, I'm retired from the Army. I ran my own business and I made content for YouTube while raising a family. Like, what? So, yeah. Do you think there's been an increase in paranormal activity with all the evil in the world? 100%. 100%. Since over the past 2 years, I have received message after message after message about increased paranormal activity, from hauntings to cryptids to stuff that people don't even know how to explain. And it's like picking up, but before it's going down, like it's getting worse. Not to mention the amount of prophecies from the Bible that are happening. It's wild. Queen of Assyria, and you are the king. that's funny. Jesus is king, but thank you. Ragnarok is coming. I think so. Lee, I'll go check him out. I didn't see it. I've been trying to work on some things and coming up with some new ideas to include live streams. So let's see here. Tri-County Adventures. I saw that. I actually thought about going up there and helping out with that investigation, because I think he's in the Daniel Boone National Forest now. So that dude's dealing with Dogman. Could you imagine how scary that would be? Like, that guy is he's in the mountains of Kentucky, where like one of the most like documented sightings of Dogman happen, and this dude is running from all of law enforcement of East Tennessee. That dude is freaking Dogman food. Like, he is done. Like, yeah, that place is massive. He lost his rifle. Did he really? I didn't see that. Arrow's Playground. Always been intrigued by feral people. Thank you. It's thank you. How is John doing these days? He doesn't do videos anymore. I know Tim doesn't. John had either started his own security company, or he was working with somebody else. I meant to message him and ask him. And we had talked about getting together and doing another investigation. We were going to go do something on the knot deer, because I got a new hunting blind that I was really interested in trying out. Sorry, now my son's texting me. That I was interested in trying out, and are we still in? Can y'all hear me? Are we still on? Yes, we're still live. Thank you. I'm still here. Sorry, y'all. My other kid was messaging me over and over and over and again, so I was trying to figure out. We're back. I was trying to figure out how to respond to him, and yeah. So John, he's doing well. We had talked about getting together and working on. Thanks, Pearl Nation. I appreciate it. We were together, talking about getting together and working on something, and the weekend that we were going to do it, then this big storm happened, and yeah, weren't able to get it done. Yeah, I'm a pretty good gymnast, actually. So we were going to work on the knot gear together. So, hang on. Sorry, it was dip time. My bad. That's one thing that I haven't been able to kick since the military, was my dip habit. I smoked for 17 years, and then switched to dip. So, you know, if you haven't tried Cougar, they're good. Anyway, so, all right, let's get back here. Husk, I'm so glad you caught the stream too. Yeah, Spookfest. Send it. Can you send me a link, or can you send me something, and I'll definitely keep an eye out for it. Let's see here. What do I think about Leviathan? You know, I've never really sat down and thought about just the side-eye guy is here. Dude, I love your content. That's awesome. The Grim Reaper. I would love to have you come out with me. Y'all, if you all have not seen the side-eye guy, he's freaking hilarious. He is awesome. He approaches the paranormal in such a unique way, and he's awesome. He's really cool. I think he's hilarious, dude. If you ever come to America, please reach out to me, or if you want to make a trip, dude, we could do something awesome. And I would love to have you out. And we could work out something, you know. Anyway, sorry. But with Leviathan, so with all of this, I definitely, dude, I don't even know where to begin with it. I definitely think that it still exists on on Earth. Where it is at this current time, I don't know, and whether or not it's active or what it's doing, I don't know. I don't know. I need to sit down and really think about it and come up with a good theory. I know that's not the answer that you all were looking for, but I don't want to sit here and tell you all something that, you know, just off my cuff to answer the question. So with our oceans, obviously we have explored less of our oceans, you know, than we have explored outer space. I think that within our oceans, there are cryptids and creatures not only from the Bible, but throughout any major religion. I think those creatures still exist within our oceans. Now, how do we go about figuring out what these creatures are is another, you know, kind of like how would I go look for a Leviathan? Like that's the predicament. You know, I've gone and I've tried to look for sirens, and I've tried to look for mermaids, and when you are doing paranormal investigations near the water, it's extremely difficult, because also water has this quality that really can cause a lot of distortion, and a lot of it happens in the mountains as well. So in the mountains, it's really difficult a lot of times for me to determine exactly what's happening, because the way that the sound travels. So in the mountains, somebody can be talking from miles away, and it just bounces and will come up and just kind of hit you, and then you are hearing it, but the overall level of it doesn't change. So it can be very disorienting. Water does that too. So if you were to go on an investigation and you hear, obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of people that live near the beach. I think, what was it? It was about a year ago or so. I saw there was this big thing that was happening. People kept hearing the sound that was coming off of the ocean, and they were thinking that it was. They were thinking that it was the Leviathan coming to life. But actually what was happening was it was the mating call of this particular fish that was creating this thumping type sound, that the sound not only came up out of the water, but it went into people's apartments and stuff. It was really cool. Side Guy says, when the ocean gets that deep, fewer creatures can survive down there, and there may not be enough food for big sea creatures to live off. But I'd love to be wrong. Fair enough. Absolutely. The pressure of the water would be exuberant. But the thing is, the ocean is massive. These creatures don't necessarily have to live at the bottom of the ocean. I mean, they could live, 10 feet beneath the surface, out in the middle of the Pacific, and never be picked up and never be recognized. They could be living around the Arctic. We don't have, at least in my opinion, we don't really have the technology to completely dismiss a massive creature like a Leviathan, Godzilla, or even the Megalodon, to completely dismiss it not being able to exist. Now, obviously, the next question would be, okay, what about what it would eat? So when I go on these investigations looking for like Bigfoot or Dogman, that's something that I take into account. I definitely look for the water source. I try to determine whether or not like the deer population or the hog population could support a large creature like a Bigfoot or, you know, a Dogman or something like that. So I think realistically we could maybe trace the population size of different animals and see if they drop suddenly for no reason. I think something like that happened, didn't it, with the snow crabs? Like, wasn't there a problem with the population? They said that it was overfished, but I don't know. Could have been a Leviathan. So, yeah. So, are they in a cave system or a dimension we do not know about? Could be interesting. Bigfoot being an herbivore makes sense to me. I totally agree. I think personally he's more of an omnivore. I think he will eat meat at an opportunity. But the dog man on the other side, I think he's strictly a carnivore. What about bird monsters in the Appalachian forests? So that is another thing that is pretty well known in the Appalachian Mountains, is the thunderbird. It's, you know, talked about through the Native American tribes. There are reported sightings of this thing. And there's actually newspaper articles talking about a pterodactyl-like creature. You know, whether or not, and right as I said that, and I thought about that article, it kind of made me think about something. But no, I think the article was from like the late 1800s. Never mind. I was thinking that I saw a newspaper article about like a pterodactyl that was like from the 1800s, but then I was thinking, I don't know when the first like dinosaur fossil was found, so how would they know it would be a pterodactyl? You know what I mean? That's just where my mind went to. Well, thanks for stopping by, Side-Eye Guy. Again, if you ever want to come out, hang out in Appalachian Mountains, I'm your guy. I'm your guide. I guide a lot of other creators, so let me know. So, could ferals actually be Bigfoot? I don't think so. I think the feral people and Bigfoot are two different things. So, I think some of the encounters with them definitely overlap, but I don't think that they are the same thing. So, yeah, I saw it. We're just gonna continue to talk and move forward. Minotaur are back. Centaurs. Megan Norris is here. What's up, Megan? Shelly, I am. I'm trying to. I'm doing my best. Dragons have always been here. There was a guy that I had seen on TikTok, actually, that was like, at first when I saw it, I was like, this dude's bananas. He was like digging out this, what he said to be a dragon. And at first I didn't really like look too far into it, and then as the dude got like deeper into it and like digging this stuff out, like I was kind of like, wait a minute, that does look like a dragon. Like what? So no, it was dead. It was totally like fossilized, like it was solid stone. So yeah. Mel, you're skeptical of the dragon thing. Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, we do have, like, a lot of people say that the T-Rex was actually a dragon, because, you know, the way that the arms work, and it just doesn't make sense. So, but I don't know. I don't know if the T-Rex was actually a dragon or not. It would make sense that they haven't been found, because I would think that their bones would need to be hollow, so they wouldn't preserve as well. Do I believe in vampires? Matthew Mount. Dude, you know, I have gone back and forth on the existence of vampires. Obviously, everybody knows that, you know, the idea of the modern day vampire was just like created. Could a variation of a vampire exist? I think so. There was I've seen like a couple of specials on it that made me really kind of doubt whether or not the vampire phenomenon was legit, or, you know, it was made up. Like, it really kind of put me in a position where I was like, wait a minute, like, you are telling me that there's a group of people that hang out with behind these semi trucks, chasing lot lizards around, biting them, and we didn't know about this? Like, it was kind of one of those things that, you know, but they presented some pretty interesting information. So yeah. Vanilla Danilla, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in. So the question is, do I believe in vampires? I don't know. I think that some sort of variant could be explained by vampires. Some of the things that happen, I think they could be explained by the existence of vampires. But for me to go out and look for, I don't even know where I would go to look for them. I would imagine I would go like downtown, right? You go look into like into cities and certain place. Yes, Vanilla, this is a paranormal channel. Yeah. We talk about paranormal, cryptids, just kind of random stuff. We don't get stuck on one particular topic. We talk about Bigfoot, Dogman, feral people, Mothman, all kinds of stuff. I go out on my own, by myself, and look for proof of the existence of these creatures. So, Foggy Mountain Witch coming in out of left field. Where have you been? Vampires from the east are beings that take your energy, life force. The people got ill and died. In the beginning, there was no blood sucking. You know, that's really interesting, because I'll be honest with you, like, I've met some people in my life that have taken my freaking life source. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I've, so when I was in the military, there was, I had some, and I'm sure some of my military guys here will recognize this. But sometimes, and it happened to me, like, I came into close contact with, and I will never forget this guy's face. Like, the way that he looked at me was like he had just no soul. And it was such a shocking experience that I still kind of think about him and about it this, like, today. And it makes me wonder, like, what I was experiencing. Because this man, if I gave him the opportunity to kill me, he would have taken it. Like, and I totally understood that. Like, he didn't have to, like, he didn't speak English, but, like, I 100% know for a fact that if I would have turned my back on him, or if I've given him an opportunity or a reason, like, dude would have just taken my life. And I think a lot of people in the military have come face to face with people like that. So the question is whether or not are these people just evil people, or is this something different? You know, so psychic vampires. Where were we? So I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name. Shahani, why do you believe in the existence of these creatures? I'm just asking, no hate, please. Okay, well, you've came to the right channel, because we don't do hate here, okay? You can ask us anything. We can have a conversation about it, and there's no judgment, no hate. So the reason why I believe in the existence of the paranormal and these creatures is mainly it started, my initial journey started when I was living in a house from the 1800s. Okay, it was built in the late 1800s. One day I was sitting on the couch in my living room, and it was in the middle of summer. In East Tennessee, it gets super humid in the summer, and it's like super hot. Like, I was sitting on this couch in a house that it was not insulated very well, and I look down the hallway, and I see this black mass at the very end of the hallway, and it was like in the shape of a human, to the point where I thought that somebody had broken into the house. I jump up off the couch and I run down the hallway, and by the time I get to the end of the hallway is so cold that I can see my breath. From that point on, the paranormal activity that was happening in the house became just horrible. This occurred prior to, like, people going on YouTube and well, I mean, I guess they may have been doing it, but, like, YouTube just wasn't really a thing then. And so I was in this house, and I remember one day Stephanie had made dinner, and there were plates on the table, and the plates just start, like, spinning like really fast, to the point where, like, it freaked me out, and I just slammed my hands down on the table to get it to stop. Several other things had happened that led up to, it was on Christmas Eve, and we were wrapping presents in the living room, and we started hearing this scratching noise, like, I mean, heavy scratching. And it got to a point where I, like, walked up and I figured out, like, where the scratching was happening on the wall, and I could just hear, like, these sounded like just massive claws just digging at the side of the wall. But there was no explanation for it. Like, the walls were, like, sealed up. There's no way that you could get, like, in between them. There, you know, it wasn't anything like that. So after like that incident, we actually had to move. We left the house. Um, from that point on, I really kind of wanted to find a way to um, show people what had happened to me that day. Um, and that's where the my name comes from. Black Mass was a result of seeing that black mass that day. And you know, growing up, I had a Bigfoot experience when I was a kid, and I really have experienced these things in a way that, you know, has just been very moving to me, and it really makes me question our understanding of our reality. So, you know, I just want to kind of learn more about it, and that's kind of where I'm at. So, all right, what's happening? Okay, so apparently we got more trolls in here. So look, here's the deal, man. I'll just be honest with you. If you have a question, ask a question. I'll be happy to answer you. There's no reason to just try to get attention from people here. We are all pretty open-minded people, so please, you know, don't be afraid to ask a question if you don't understand. So, I'll give you an opportunity to calm down. But like, there's no reason to come in here and do that stuff. Like, I'm freaking 42 years old. Like, I'm interested in the paranormal. So if you have a question, ask a question. Don't come in here and just talk nonsense. Did you ever hear about the Green Man? No. What is the Green Man? Are you talking about like the aliens or the crawlers? Like the crawlers shadow figure, Mel? What do I think the Black Mass was? You know, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. I definitely think that it could have been a demonic force. Because so my family is pretty high up in the Masons. In the area that I lived, there was a lodge across the street. Now, I am not saying that the Masons or the lodge was directly responsible for any type of demonic activity. It's not what I'm saying. I think that the Masons are a pretty big target. I think what I experienced was some sort of residual effect from what was happening from there. Because after that had happened, the lodge caught fire, like totally unexpectedly. I don't think that they ever figured out what happened to start the fire either. It was just out of the blue, and it was a raging fire that got way out of control, way too fast for no real reason. Like, I mean, it just, like, I'm talking decimated this building. And it was odd. It was odd. So, you know, I don't know what had happened, but I definitely think what I experienced was probably a demonic entity. Yeah. Okay. Are you talking about the gray man? No, wait. You're in Western Philadelphia. Okay. I haven't heard about him. I've heard of the gray man. Not the green man, though. So, I'm out of my drink. What time is it? 4:06. Holy crap. So listen, y'all, I'm going to wrap this up. I just realized that I've been on here talking for 3 hours. 3 hours. That's pretty awesome. Let's see here. Borner Corner asked me, can you give a quick review of your Bigfoot experience? I searched all over North Georgia and haven't had one, but seen signs. Okay, seeing how, I think that was probably your first time commenting. I want to answer you. So I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. My first Bigfoot like close-up experience was it happened in an area. In what's really interesting is I didn't know that this was the same area. It happened in an area where Scott Carpenter was researching. He had captured, multiple images, the DNA. He had all of this evidence. I had no idea that Scott was researching in the same area, which makes this even more interesting. I had been out looking for the Dogman on the other side, went kind of back around, and found this massive print on the ground. It was so detailed you could see like the phalanges of the toes. Like, it was amazing. And then I see this creature in the woods just in the distance from me. So if you are looking for Bigfoot, there's kind of varying theories on whether or not he's an omnivore, herbivore, or carnivore. But one of the main things you want to look for is a water source. You want to make sure that there is enough food in the area for them to survive. So definitely keep an eye out for that stuff when you are making your journeys. So, but yeah, I hope that answers your question. But guys, I got to wrap this up. I've been speaking for 3 hours, and just want to say thank you all for coming out, and I really appreciate it. And we will see you all probably this weekend. I'll try to do a live stream. So, see ya.